72. Surprising move.
So behind the play of Carroll and his 8 kills, Pepperdine grabs the lead. And so for just the 3rd time this season, Penn State trails in a match. They lost their very first game of the year against Hawaii. They rallied to win that match. The only other time they were down was to George Mason, and that accounted for their only loss. They did not come back from that deficit. As Holt puts it into the net, ties it at 1 apiece here early on. The first time in the history of this tournament that a non-West Coast school is the #1 seed, and Penn State coming in now will have to rally from behind.
And one of the things we try to follow is a real cat and mouse game, how the teams adjust their batting order, their serving order from game to game. Both coaches sticking with about the same order here in game 2 for the same matchups.
Anderson rolls it over the top. And Matt Anderson gets the kill. That's number 7 for Matt.
Nice adjustment by Anderson. He had no swing at that ball, and really not a very good play defensively by Pepperdine. When you don't have a good swing, everybody's got to be thinking it's going to be shorter and softer.
Penn State's 2nd ever National Player of the Year. He shared the honor this season with Long Beach's Paul Lottman. They go back to Anderson. It's a big turnaround after they were even with Ohio State Karch 1-1, and they started going exclusively to him, and he was huge in game 3, and that's when the Nittany Lions ran away with it.
And went away from their almost best hitters. One of them, Holt, best hitter in the nation efficiency-wise, but they won the match. And now they threw the kitchen sink, Penn State really did, at Pepperdine this first game. Completely switched distributions, mostly middle, went away from Anderson, switched their serving order, and yet Pepperdine scratched back for the game 1 victory.
Carroll serving. He had a couple of aces in game 1. Schweitzer long on that swing.
Boy, Schweitzer is really having a rough match so far. That he has 1 kill and 6 errors on 8 attempts now. They're going to have to get him going. He's the only real other outside hitter option for Penn State. They have 2 great middles and 2 outsides. It's a 4-horse versus 3-horse match here today.
Winder, that one was too easy on the overpass for Jonathan at 6'8". One of the bigger setters you'll come across in the college game.
Well, we had a great view in the package earlier on Carroll of that curveball coming at you as a left-hander, and he rips one again for the near ace. It doesn't count as an ace in the stats, but I call it one because it led to an easy point.
Service error gives Penn State the point, and they are back up by 1. And now Anderson had that 30-kill performance against Ohio State in the semis. Will serve. Schleppenbach, the pass to Winder. Ricks has it stuffed. Schweitzer and Lipsitz. Well, if you're not hitting the ball well, at least you can still block. And Ryan got right up there next to Max on that one.
Again, Ricks, the freshman, has had a great postseason, late season play, but he's trying to do a little too much on that, hitting the ball a little too steeply against a blocker he thinks might not be that good, and getting stuffed as a result.
Anderson off the tape. Nice. Pancaked up by Grubbs. And Carroll down the line.
What a pancake by Sean Grubbs to keep it alive. Watch him right here. Hand on the floor. Ball bounces off. And Dennis Del Valle there just creeping in a little bit. His only weakness, he's a tremendous libero, but his only weakness, Coach Pav says, is sometimes he'll move around defensively.
Carroll with some good coverage. Schleppenbach out of the back. Drills it off of Murray.
And Schleppenbach really had a dream night 2 nights ago. 14 kills on 18 attempts. As losing coach for Long Beach, Alan Knight, said, you're not supposed to be able to hit 500, not setting the middle, only setting the outsides, but they did it.
Lipsitz counters with the kill. Yeah, JD now here in the semis and the finals. He's only got 18 kills and 1 error to his credit.
His hitting, his overall season hitting percentage went from 190 to 205 in that one match.
Lipsitz after the kill will serve. Winder looking for Carroll, swooping in out of the back. Topped over by Lipsitz, so another swing for Paul, and long on that attempt. Point for Penn State.
All the Pepperdine coaches calling for a touch here. They're looking for some help from the referee, from any of the 4 linesmen, from the second referee.
Neither the first or the second referee nor myself had a touch on it. When the ball was coming over there,
So we can hear the conversation here.
We both believe he didn't touch
He was over there talking with Brian Himmelbaum, and Tony Chan is the other official.
Let's see. Yeah, that looked over the top of the block, but sometimes I don't think there was a touch on that.
No.
Players will think they can hear something, though, and hearing's part of it, which you can't catch on the replay.
Lipsitz for Penn State. Goes with the pass to Winder. Schleppenbach off the block. Outside the antenna point, Pepperdine.
We talked about it before, 4 horses versus 3. We've got 2 great middle hitters and 2 outsides, great outsides for Penn State. Pepperdine really, they have some inexperienced middles, so they set the middle very infrequently. And as a result, they have their 3 outside hitters that they rely on for almost all of their offense.
Murray back to Anderson, had to switch in midair to the left, didn't get anything on it. Murray bumps it to Schweitzer. Ricks is there. Into the back set to Carroll. Popped up by Penn State, and then they lost it in the air.
Nice block. When you come down off the block, the first thing you want to do is turn into the court and look up. And Schweitzer, actually Stauffer, wasn't able to do that and track that ball down. It would have been an easy play for him if he'd been able to find it with his eyes.
11 kills now for Carroll. Murray looks to Anderson, who pounds it off of Carroll for the kill.
I got to see some of those earlier this season when Penn State came here and beat Long Beach at Long Beach. There you see the exact same trajectory. The middle blocker, Tyler James, jumps up. He's in the popcorn machine. That leaves only 1 blocker. Anderson annihilates that ball.
Little molten volleyball tattoo, and then Schleppenbach counters with the crush.
Returning right back with the heat. Del Valle has no chance there. Again, one-on-one. Hitters should win that most of the time. Setters running nice options here.
Holt, and the block will land in deep for Pepperdine.
Well, if that starts happening, Penn State's going to be in big trouble because, as Coach Dunphy said, well, we're just medium block in the middle, but if they start getting those, nice job by Carroll and James to get in there.
Murray. The dump on 2, Penn State. By design or not, Karch, you just mentioned Del Valle's name, and I think that's the first time the entire match that he's had the opportunity to make a play on a ball. So Pepperdine's keeping the best defender out of it so far. There he is getting underneath the tip. And Holt with the tip.
Max Holt that time, all 6'9", 6'10" of him, going right over a very tall Pepperdine block that did everything they could. It's called commit blocking. We're just going to jump with him, take ourselves out of the play, stop him. They still couldn't stop him.
Winder, a quick to James, overpass, pushed over by Carroll.
A rare set for a Pepperdine middle there. James with one of his first attempts. And not a great connection, but the pass, the dig, goes back over the net.
Schleppenbach, the junior from Ventura, California at 6'4". Holt again. Winder with the coverage, and then Ricks long on that attempt.
We'll definitely want to keep our eyes on Ricks, who had a tremendous match 2 days ago, but struggled a little last Saturday in the conference tournament. Pepperdine fell down 2-0 to BYU. Matt McKee came in for Ricks, turned it around. They won the next 3 games. So McKee could be in reserve for Ricks if he's having a little trouble.
We did see McKee late there in game 1, and the kill for Carroll, and Paul right now has the hot hand. He's hitting close to 400, and now 14 kills in the match. Rather 13 for the junior from Australia. Wasn't an easy situation to be in, coming in after Sean Rooney graduated, the 4-time All-American who helped Pepperdine win the 2005 title.
And that's really almost a wash here. We've got two great veteran setters. It's not like it's a senior against a freshman.